Welcome to the Crypto Sphere. This is Cryptogenic coming at you. Today is Monday, December 27th at 8:32 a.m. here in rainy California. Hope you all had a marvelous Christmas with your family. I was tickled pink because we're in our new home now, and my wife's family all came to town from everywhere, and the kids were jumping and laughing and screaming and shouting and bouncing balls and shooting Nerf guns at each other. And it was beautiful, beautiful chaos. I was just filled with so much joy. Haven't been able to get a video out to you for the last couple of days because, last few days, because I've been in the midst of a moving to a new city. And actually the move is not done. The movers are on our last storage container. While they packed it, I popped over to the office to try to get a video out to you fine folks. So I had a dream last night. Well, early this morning, I had a dream. And in my dream, Bitcoin crashed. I mean, crashed. In my dream, I was looking at a Bitcoin chart, and it was hitting resistance at $51,000. And then all of a sudden, it tanked. Boom. And there was this huge red candle that just went down. And I'm watching it. I'm like, oh, shoot, 40,000, 30,000, 20,000, 15,000, 10,000. It didn't stop till it hit $6,900. And I woke up in a cold sweat and grabbed my phone and checked TradingView, and all was well. Then I went back to sleep. That was early this morning. I went back to sleep, and I had another dream. And in this second dream, Bitcoin pumped. And it was a big green candle. And the pump was not extraordinary, but we broke above the resistance at 51,000, and it took off from there. And when I finally woke up this morning, the first thing I thought of was Malcolm Gladwell's book Blink, in which he talks about thin slicing, and he talks about the danger of intuition because our intuitions are often unconsciously biased. In other words, neither one of those dreams, I believe, were prophetic. Neither one of them was an omen or a sign of things to come. And when we try to do our analysis of the markets based upon intuition, we get in trouble because what happened this morning, I think what happened in my dreams this morning, is there's stuff that I desperately want to happen, and there's stuff that I'm desperately afraid is going to happen. And I know, I'm the guy who talks about sleeping in peace, waking in joy, walking in love, all is well. You hear me say that in every video. All is well, sleep in peace, wake in joy, walk in love. If it tanks, that's the best thing. Wonderful. Gives us an extended accumulation opportunity. And so we're going to accumulate through the tank. Don't worry. The correction is your friend. And, I talk all of this stuff. But the reason I talk all of this stuff is because I'm scared. I spent so many years being deathly afraid of the market just tanking and all of my profits going to nothing. In a lot of ways, I'm preaching to myself in every one of these videos because walking in peace is a discipline. It's a discipline. And if I don't practice that discipline, engagement in the crypto market is going to destroy me. Engagement in the crypto market is going to cripple me. Engagement in the crypto market is going to become all-consuming. It will consume every waking thought. And I think the worst thing that a human being can do is allow something like the crypto market, or really anything, to consume every waking thought. Because what it ends up doing is it ends up taking the place of the stuff that you really exist for, like your true reason for being. You can't allow it to be crypto. So I had to wake up this morning and kind of come back to my center and say, all is well. And this is why my method of technical analysis, I was telling the story. I had a Christmas party with my patrons last week. And one of them asked me the question of how I got into technical analysis and how I got into crypto. And I told the story about my friend John, Crypto John, trying to convince me to buy Bitcoin since 2013 or 2014. I can't remember, but it was one of those years when at the time he started encouraging me to buy it, Bitcoin was $160. And he pestered me about it to the point of irritation, annoyance. I've dreaded his presence because I knew he was going to bring up this crypto nonsense until finally in 2017, I asked him the question I should have asked him from the very beginning. Have you made any money in this? And he said, well, yeah, I bought it for $160. Now it's $4,000. And when I heard that, I nearly died, like my soul came out of my body for a moment. It was one of those moments of stupidity that borders on ignorance, or moments of ignorance that borders on stupidity, where I realized, why have not I listened to this man? And I bought some Bitcoin about 2 weeks later. I dropped several $1,000s in. And then the next day, China banned it. And it went from 4,000 to 3,200 overnight. And I called John and nearly cussed him out. I was so angry, as if he controlled the market, right? You told me to buy this stuff? No. We always look for somebody to blame when stuff goes wrong. Anyway, that's another story. But I was so anxious about losing my investment that I started studying technical. For some reason, I fell right into technical analysis, and I started studying it round the clock. And I was throwing every indicator on there that you could possibly imagine. If you looked at my charts, you've seen A Beautiful Mind. You've seen the workshop, the woodshed, when they went in there and he had lines drawn, and it was just a chaos. And there was lines drawn between newspaper articles, and it was a mess, stuff that had no connection to one another. It was like that. My charts were just a mess because I knew I just needed one more indicator on there, that somehow one more indicator was going to give me certainty of what was going to happen next. And I would sit and look at the chart and look at it and look at it and look at it and then throw another indicator on and draw some more lines, as if somehow if I just looked at it for long enough, it was going to tell me exactly what was going to happen, that if I was a good enough student, I was going to be able to figure out exactly what was going to happen. And I was spending 8 to 10 hours a day in the charts. And 4 months later, I was 72% down in a market that had pumped 500%. How do you end up in such a place? I'll tell you how. I was trading like a mofo when all I needed to do was hold. And so when I look back at that early experience, all I had to do was sleep in peace, wake in joy, walk in love, and let the market do what it did. And if anything, buy the dip, and I would have been more than fine. More than fine. And so it actually took me, somebody asked me yesterday, how long did it take you to actually settle in and find your stride? And it took me more than 3 years. It wasn't until the fall of 2020 that I actually settled down, discovered my method, which is the method of technical analysis that I use today. It's developed since then. I've learned some things since then. But really, it's become more and more simple. More and more simple. So, anyway, with that being said, we're going to look at these charts. Now, I haven't had time to do any pre-work on these charts. So, I haven't even mapped out where I'm going today. So, we're going to look at the total crypto market cap here. And then we're going to look at the altcoin market cap. Then we're going to look at Bitcoin, BCH, XRP. And then I threw a note in my Patreon this morning to ask my people what they want to see. Let me say, if you're thinking about joining my Patreon, I suggest you wait till the 1st of January for 2 reasons. Number one, if you join today, they're going to charge you again on the 1st of January. You're going to be mad as a mofo when you see a second charge within 3 days. Number 2, I'm creating a new level, a new tier in my Patreon. There's a lot of demand for my platinum tier where I do one-on-one meetings, and I just cannot take any more of those. I've already got more than I can really handle. I mean, I'm having to juggle some things to make sure that I can handle them. But I'm creating a new tier, and what I'm going to do with this tier is, instead of doing a one-on-one, a monthly one-on-one, I'm going to do a monthly group session with the people in this tier, a monthly group session on Zoom where I will answer questions and do kind of a group portfolio analysis. So keep your eyes open for that. I'll let you know about that as we get closer to January 1st. I'm not releasing that yet because I don't want anybody paying before January 1st and then getting charged again on January 1st. That's the worst thing that could happen. All right, let's jump into this chart. And so this is the total crypto market cap chart. First thing I see, there's two things I see off the bat. The first thing I see with this total crypto market cap is that this is an ascending narrowing wedge, which is exactly the same candle pattern that we saw in Bitcoin when we talked about the bearish scenario. And, we have to be aware of that. So first of all, this is what the Bitcoin chart looked like. We drew it like this, basically. Let's see. Basically down to, if I can get it here, there, and then up like this, something like that, and it broke down through there. Well, even if we bring this down to here, it's still an ascending narrowing wedge, which is often bearish, which means we're not out of the woods yet because we're still forming a bearish candle pattern. Okay, we got to be aware of that. However, the second thing I see is that the RSI has recovered above this line of support. So we broke down, we capitulated between that line of support and made a lower low, but we've broken back above that line of support. Now, however, if we go back and zoom out a little bit more, what we find is we're still making a higher low here in the RSI from a macro perspective. Okay, so yes, we've got this candle pattern here. We've got somewhat of a bearish candle pattern in the midst of an overall bullish move, right? So we're still on an uptrend here. If we look at this total move, we're still on an uptrend, but we're looking at a temporary bearish move within a broader bullish move. So if you look at it from the macro, all is well. We're still moving up. It's an uptrend, okay? Now, what does that mean? That means there's still the possibility that we break down bearish out of this candle pattern, okay? However, here is the first line of support right here. So if we break down out of this, the line of support is $2 trillion. That's the first line of support. Now, this is just the total crypto market cap. Looking at the altcoin market cap, we're seeing basically the same pattern here. And so if we break down bearish beneath this line here, this line is support. So the support is basically around $1.18 trillion. However, if we get a bullish break above this line here, that could take us all the way up to $4 trillion. And this is just the altcoin market cap, okay? RSI looks exactly the same, right? Now let's look at Bitcoin. Now the resistance has been $51,000, but look at what's happening. I'm going to make this a solid line. What's happening is we've started the week with that line of resistance as support. What's probably better is if we see this resistance as a zone. And so right now, we're in between that zone. Okay, and we can even pull the base of that zone down a little bit. There we go. So we need support above $52,000. Now what's happened here with the RSI is the same thing. We've broken above this line of resistance in the RSI. I'm going to go full screen on this so we can see it. We've broken above this line of resistance, which is nice. We've got this overall bullish RSI in the macro. We had this temporary breakdown. I'm going to make that one dotted because, or dashed. As long as we stay above this line, we can continue upward, and that's what we need to see. We need the RSI to break out and to keep moving upward, and then we should be fine. But once again, this is still an ascending narrowing wedge, okay? This is still the same candle pattern that we saw when we called the potential bearish move a couple of weeks ago, okay? So a couple of weeks ago, I drew this line like this a few weeks ago. We were in this candle here, I think. And sure enough, the following week, we broke down and we capitulated beneath it. But that gives us a new low. And so the candle should extend to here. The trend line should extend to here. From this point to this point, okay? So we could even continue up and hit this line here and still be in this ascending narrowing wedge, which means even if we get a break above 52,000 and we could come all the way up to the top of this wedge at 72,000 and still break down and come all the way back down to 28,000. So are we out of the woods yet? Absolutely not. However, what's promising is that we're in this zone here, in this support resistance zone. And if we can break above 52,000, we can at least come up and revisit the top of this line. If we break above the top of this line, well, let's see where that could take us. If we chart the depth of this, that could take us, let's say we break above it here. This could take us up. Let me just make this full screen so I've got space. 126%. And I love it, people are going to comment below, there's no way Bitcoin is going to break $100,000. Absolutely impossible. You're going to provide no evidence. No evidence for that. You just don't believe it, which means you're doing your technical analysis intuitively. See, I keep popping out of logarithmic here. That's the problem. So anyway, I don't know why my chart keeps doing that. Something's wrong with TradingView. So if we break above this line, that could take us all the way up to $161,000. All right? And then if we look at this is the chart we've been looking at for several months now. We've been looking at this chart pretty much almost all year long. And we look at this chart, it's just a broader bullish move. All is well. Everything's moving upward. I don't know why it's like that. We could even do that. Get rid of that. Yeah. So everything's fine for the moment. All right. Let's see what my group wants to see. Whoa. BCH and MATIC, THETA, XPRT, VRA, T-Fuel. Who was first? Okay. BCH and MATIC. Trisha was definitely first. THETA, XPRT, and VRA. All right, let's see if we can look at BCH, MATIC, THETA, XPRT, and VRA. I don't know if I have time for all of those. Start with BCH. I already had that one open anyway. BCH looks fine. Still seeing this hidden bullish divergence. However, let's see if we've broken above. Okay, so here's what's happening in the RSI here with BCH. BCH is trying to recover. We've got this strong bounce in the RSI. We need the RSI to break above this line. Okay? And then basically we're going to need the RSI to break above this line and continue a move to the top. What we see here with BCH is we started to see, just like everything in the market, this bearish divergence here, back here. If you see, the RSI topped out. This was the top of the RSI on January 4th. Wow. And then we made a lower low on May 3rd. Wow. So we saw these lower lows in the RSI on the BCH chart, just like we saw in the Bitcoin chart. You notice we're making higher highs here, from this high here to this high here. You see that? This high to this high. Higher highs in the price, lower highs in the RSI, which means that this chart was already telegraphing this bearish move. So the encouraging thing about the BCH chart is that there's hidden bullish divergence. But the concerning thing is that this is also a bear flag. Look at this. Well, it's a bear pennant. I'm going to put this in front. So if we can see this as the pole, and, you know, here's the flag. So that's a bear pennant. And if that plays out, you're talking about 50% drop. So if we break bearish out of here, that could take us as deep as 50%. It's possible. However, the first line of support will be about half of that. Well, maybe not the first, but definitely that's a line of support. So that's a possibility. However, if this hidden bullish divergence plays out, then we're going to break above this bullish. And if we do break bullish above this, yeah, we're going to double. Basically. Oops. Yeah. So if we do break bullish above this, a bullish break could take us all the way up to $1,288, which is very encouraging. So we just got to watch this, and we're going to watch the break of this pattern here. We're going to watch the break of this trend. And if we break bearish out of the trend, well, we can look for one of these levels of support. But if we break bullish out of the trend, well, we're looking for the next breakout here. And yeah. So we shall see, folks. We shall see. What else did people want to see? MATIC. First, we'll look at XRP. XRP, same thing. Hidden bullish divergence in the RSI. But this is a symmetric triangle. So this is not a bearish pattern. It's neither bearish nor bullish. We've got bullish, hidden bullish divergence, and a symmetric triangle. I'm expecting a bullish break from this. I mean, there's still possibility for a bearish break, but I'm expecting a bullish break, which should take us up to $3.80. All right, let's grab the MATIC chart. Let's see what the MATIC. Wow, look at this. Okay, this is exciting, guys. This is exciting. All right. What's exciting is here is a historic line of resistance for MATIC. And that line of resistance is at $2.80. It actually should be a little higher. Let's see. Okay. So basically, MATIC is hitting resistance at its all-time high. And we'll just create this zone of support and resistance. So it could consolidate in this zone a little bit, but it's pressing against this zone. Once it breaks above $2.90, then we could see its next impulsive wave breakout. Am I logarithmic? Okay. Now, what happens when we see MATIC's next impulsive wave? First of all, notice we've got almost no volume here, guys. The volume is really low. So once we get a burst of volume here, we can see another impulsive wave. Now, let me tell you what the impulsive wave would look like if it mirrored the last one. Now, first and foremost, there's no guarantee that this is going to mirror the last wave, but this is the possibility. The possibility takes us all the way up to $600. But let's say we only get a piece of that. Let's say we hit this level. Or let's say we get an even smaller chunk. Let's say we hit this level. This level is still 10x, more than 10x of where we are. So MATIC is exciting right now. Not to mention the RSI is bullish as all get out. I mean, you've got super bullish RSI here. You've got bullish candle patterns. You've got a bullish RSI. And, wow, look at this. I mean, this is the top of the RSI here. So what if we come down and retest this line here in the RSI and then break out? Who knows? We could even come down and retest this line here and then break up. Who knows? But MATIC is really exciting right now. It's at an exciting place. And, I mean, even if we just get half of this move, let's say we just get this move to here, that would be super exciting. I mean, just that move would be super exciting because that would take us up to the $117 mark. Wow, that's crazy. That's absolutely nuts. MATIC is golden, folks. MATIC is golden. All right, one more, and then I got to call it quits. THETA. Okay, Benny. Got you on THETA. Bears, I'll get to XPRT and VRA in the next one. So let's take a look at THETA. And, you know, if I do THETA, I've also done T-Fuel pretty much. Yeah. Okay. All right. Check out this dragon right up in this piece. Hitting resistance at the... First of all, this candle pattern is a huge bull pennant. Look at this. Look at this junk. Look how huge this bull pennant is. I mean, this is a huge flag. I'm sorry, a huge pole and a huge, huge flag. This is bullish, man. This junk is bullish, man. Just absolute bullishness. Okay, look at this. Let's draw it a little bit more precisely. Yep. Wow. Looking at the RSI, what I see with THETA's RSI is that these are the levels that we broke beneath, and it's recovered above both of those levels. Let's look at this full screen to just get a... And now we're trying to break above this level here. See this? Look at that. Yeah, this is... This is a comeback, folks. Look at that. Look at that. THETA's trying to break back above this level. So we've broken back above the trend. Now, if this line remains support, we could see, guys, this is crazy. Let's just take this scenario. Okay, first of all, let me make sure I'm logarithmic here because TradingView keeps messing me up. All right, let's take this bars pattern. We're just going to take half of this move, okay? If we just take half of this move, where does it take us? Half of this move from within this pennant takes us to $119. you can see my profit take levels. That's what I provide for all my patrons, the cryptogenic portfolio with profit take levels. But even just half of this move takes us up to $131, $130. Theta is beastly, folks. And T-Fuel is even more beastly. You know, I just feel like if you're holding Theta, if you're holding T-Fuel, you can almost just go to sleep. You know what I mean? You can almost just go to sleep. I mean, guys, this is ridiculous. Look at this. If we get this whole move, what does that look like? If we get this whole move, and let's just go down to this line. If we get this whole move, that's a $1,600 Theta. I know you're the biggest moon boy in crypto, blah, blah, blah. I'm unsubscribing. Ridiculous. It'll never be, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. You know, different strokes for different folks. If you don't like bullish material, don't watch my channel. I'm bullish on crypto. I'm bullish. However, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. What do you care about my projections if I'm not telling you to buy it? It's just what I see in the chart. And that's the key for me is the simplified methodology for me is I only say what the chart tells me to say. And if it looks bullish, I'm going to say it's bullish. And if it looks bearish, I'm going to say it's bearish. And there's no way for me to be completely unbiased, folks. I'm not claiming to be unbiased. I'm not unbiased because I'm holding this junk. So it's in my best interest for it to eventually break $1,600. So yes, I want it to do that. And I cannot be aware of the degree to which my wanting it to do that affects my technical analysis. So I cannot claim to be unbiased. Nobody can. However, I can temper my bias by following a simple methodology of technical analysis that simply examines the convergence and divergence of candle patterns and RSI. And that is how I temper my hopium, because I'm addicted to hopium. I know I'm an addict. And it's how I sleep in peace, wake in joy, and walk in love. And that's all I want for you. And that's why I make these videos, and every resource that I create is designed to empower you to sleep in peace, to wake in joy, and to walk in love. And so if you enjoyed this comment, please do me a favor and smash that like button. Hit that subscribe button, smash that bell if you haven't done so already. Leave me a comment letting me know your thoughts. I appreciate it very, very much. I wish you and your family, hope you've had a marvelous Christmas, and I hope you have a happy, happy New Year. With that being said, this is Cryptogenic signing out.